at least an hour prior to the event. That way we can do our run through and look at the area, see if there's any last minute changes that have to happen, or we can practice on those last minute changes. We also like to talk to what we call the POC, our point of contact, whoever's in charge of that ceremony. Most times it's a field director or it's a sporting coordinator or whatever. We like to talk to them and make sure that this is what we said we will provide. Is it okay? And that's what we like to do. Are you thinking that or? On a daily basis, if we don't have details going on, we're practicing. It's either practice or doing work. Practice, doing work. Practice, doing work. Sometimes, especially during the first month, we're practicing 6 to 8 hours a day, every day. It's actually an MP3 speaker inside of the bugle, and the reason for that is that's so important. We don't want to chance it. We don't want somebody to be off key or anything like that. We just want to make sure that it plays perfect. That's one of the most memorable parts of a loved one's funeral. You know, I don't know if anybody had grandparents in the military and saw a military funeral, but I remember when I saw my granddad. He fought in World War II. Saw his funeral. I can still hear taps playing through my head and remember how I felt from that. So it's very important that we get it perfect. Up here we have Airman Roscoe and Airman Dominguez. Well, we have positions of what we call an MPB and fold. MPB has the flag. He's basically in charge of the detail. I'm sorry, everything is not going to be placed. So they're waiting for the bugler to drop his bugle and come down, and he's going to fall in position of fold. Also, they're going to wait for the rifle team, which is going to be eventually part of the flag fold group. They will fall into place. So they're just going to kind of wait here and wait for them. And firing party. Now what we call our firing party, which is our rifle team up there. They're getting ready, and they will be marching up here. They'll drop the rifles down, and then they'll form up with the rest of what we call our six-pack at that point. Now you're seeing our color team starting to move in. They will end up over here somewhere. Our color team is in place, and it's going to basically stay in there for a very long time. This is where it gets very difficult. Having to stay at attention like that without moving, because we have white clothes on and a very dark uniform. Any movement with our hands, we see every little bit of it. So it's very important that they hold perfectly still. Our rifle team, or what we call our firing party, is dropped off and grounded the rifle. They're going to join the flag shoulder. It comes with what we call the six-pack, 6 personnel. There, the inside seat of firing party, the person in charge of the rifles, he's fixing them. He's making sure they're straight. He's checking all the safeties, making sure the safeties are off. So that way when we go to fire, they actually fire. Now Airman Roscoe is going to take the flag and place it. It has to touch either the urn or the casket at some point as part of the ceremony. So he's going to place it, lean it up against the urn. He's going to provide 3-second salute, and then retrieve the flag and get back to the plane.
Step.
Now they're going to basically go up and hold the flag.
Step out.
He does what we call a half dress, which is part of the honors. He's checking the flag over before we even unfold it. And then they will pass it down and then unfold it from the other end. And all this is time, every little movement, position your elbows, every angle you do is all, we practice on every part of that. Making sure we don't show our thumbs, that's a big no-no. He just did another dress, and now Raymond Christensen's going to actually untuck the flag. They'll turn it and start to unfold it as they pass it down. Now watch their timing. It should be, not that it always is, but it should always be perfect. We practice very hard to make sure that all of our slaps are together, all of our hand movements are together. Now that pop was to let the whole group know to go up and grab the other side of the flag.
Ready. Step.
Now they're going to just fold over. It's called two half stripes. They're folding over the edges, so that way when they go to what we call tabletop position, where they stretch the flag out, it looks beautiful. All right. You want all the edges to be nice and sharp. That pop was to get your hand spacing. Another pop to step out and go to what we call tabletop position. Now this is where the actual flag folding starts. They have to fold it lengthwise 2 times before they can start the triangle fold. Anybody ever folded the flag before? Okay, good. Wow. That's impressive. All right. So you kind of know what's going on. You kind of see how they're doing it. Also keep in mind, this is all while wearing this gear, which is tailored to us, and for the most part, very tight. It's hard for me to raise my arms up above this. So it takes a lot of effort to make sure that you're looking sharp all while wearing this stuff when it's 120 degrees. Now all as they're folding, pay attention to the middle guys, they're basically going to grab the end of the flag. At this point, they will walk down with that end of the flag so they can help tuck it once the flag is completely folded. Now remember, this whole time our color guard team over there has not moved. They're hot, I'm sure they're sweaty, I'm sure their arms are tired, but they haven't moved. Same with our NFP over there. He's just staying at attention, guarding our rifles, because we have to have somebody with our rifles at all times. Now is where they start the tuck the tail end of it. This part of it can also make or break the flag fold. I'm sure you guys know this. If you don't tuck it just right, it ends up looking like a pillow. Well, we don't want to sleep on it. We want to make sure it looks perfect. And our goal, as long as it's a perfect triangle and it's all blue, we don't see any red or white stripes, and we're good to go. We try and get what we call 135. Anybody familiar with that? What 135 is? 1 star, 3 stars, 5 stars. That's what we think, okay, that's awesome looking, but it doesn't always have to be, right? Because some flags are just cut a little different. It's not always easy to do that. Now they're going to move back down to the original positions. He's doing some final touches on the flag. He's squeezing it, retucking some areas, making sure, because this is the last anybody's going to have it before you hand it off to the next candidate, the loved one. So he's checking everything to make sure everything's tight, make sure there's no red showing, make sure it's flat, all the edges are straight. Now he's going to do what we call a full dress. This is the last time the flag's ever going to be what we call dressed, and that's a ceremonious way of checking all the edges and all the corners. And this will be the last time the flag's ever touched before it's handed off to the next candidate, the loved one.
Base, away.
Okay. Now these guys are going to go to their other positions. Colin is going to go over to the bugle. These three are going to go back to the rifles. One off the middle, he would normally play what we call spare. He would go after they're done firing, pick up all the brass and hand off 3 rounds to the family member. We're not going to actually fire today, so he's not actually going to have a job to do today. Normally he would pick up all the spare brass off the ground and make sure the family gets 3 rounds. One of you in the front row is probably going to receive the flag, just so you guys know as a heads up. I'm not sure who you're going to hand it to. Please stand. based off of whatever the family's request was, we always provide military honors first. And that's basically what some of our military honors look like. It depends on if you're a veteran, whether you served 2 years, 4 years, and then got out, or if you did the full 20 and got out. There's different services for that. I can honestly say we do a lot of funerals at what we call Cave Creek National Memorial Cemetery, where all the veterans are buried in this slope area. A lot of veterans are buried there. So we see a lot of the other services, Army, Marines, Navy. I try not to brag about it, but we're pretty much top notch when it comes to our services. We take a lot of pride in how sharp we are. We do a lot of practice for that. And my team's going to come over here. Do you guys have any questions before I have them give their orders? Yes. Yes. Air Force Honor Guard, not the base honor guard. Air Force Honor Guard is the one that provides those services. And actually, our NCOIC, the person in charge of all of Honor Guard uniforms, he's prior Air Force Honor Guard. So he's pushed us to be extremely sharp. He demands a lot of us. It's very tiring, but at the same time, very rewarding. Questions? Anybody else? Good. It's part of just looking sharp. Basically, when we salute, this doesn't look as good as this. And it's all part of that. It's just, we try and look sharp, so we hide our thumbs. We keep our fingers together, because when you have this dark uniform on and really bright white gloves, you're going to see every little gap, so we try and make it look sharp. Good question.
Explain to them about your uniforms and the cords and everything that's different.
Yes, sir. This is not a standard Air Force uniform. This is only for base.